So, and this is why I'm better than most people, is because I have a very open mind and I don't think that everybody is right all the time. Your generation is very used to watching MMA in order to get better at MMA. So when I started MMA, there was a little bit of MMA to watch, but most of the actual knowledge that I actually use to get better than people came from working with specialists. My first specialist coach was Tony Pett. He's a guy that fought Floyd Mayweather to a decision without a mark on his face back at 130 pounds when Floyd was knocking everyone out. I've talked about him a few times. Back then, nobody would even hit the body in MMA. Nobody would body punch. Does that mean that body punching doesn't work just because you don't see it in MMA? I've seen so many trends, bro. Everybody like hyper focuses on what's happening right now and they forget what happened before, and they also stick to just what they're seeing, right? They stick to what's already been proven in MMA. How are you going to get better at than every single person if you're learning the exact same things that they're learning? That just means you need to be a fucking specimen. You need to be more durable. You need to be faster. You need to be stronger. You need to be more athletic than everybody else in order to win under those conditions. Ryan Hall is not an athletic person. He's flexible. That's probably his only athletic gift. His brain is incredible. His brain for martial arts is unbelievable. I've learned more from that man in jiu-jitsu than I've learned from anybody else. Because of how I came up, how early I was to the party. I started this and I've been pro since 2002, right? I was so early to the party that we couldn't just rely on watching and learning from MMA fighters. There were no MMA coaches. All the coaches were specialists. So I've gotten really good at watching specialists and extracting what will work in MMA. So I call it the truth of the martial art. I studied in a Wing Chun school for 6 months.
No way.
Yeah, dude, Wing Chun. I use it, bro. There's just so many things that nobody is doing that will work, that nobody does the digging. Nobody does the research. They're just watching what everybody else is doing. They're watching Ilia Topuria. They're watching Islam. They're watching whoever's hot right now, Pereira, whoever. They're like, oh, and then everybody tries to get good at the same things all at the same time. I do the opposite, man. I do the absolute opposite, which is why my use of martial arts doesn't look like other people's use of martial arts. And it's confusing and it's super annoying. And I have a massive advantage, even if I'm not more athletic than the person, because I'm using technique with different methods, and I'm using different varieties of technique. And it comes from studying point karate, from studying taekwondo, from studying judo. So I don't try to do things the same. I try to do them differently.